which is a little bit deaf at the moment, but Don, I'm just talking, wasn't talking to him. Jacko's out of Beenleigh and he sent a message through and it's absolutely bucketing down.
Yeah, I'm about to fly to Melbourne. It's rainy for the next few days. Got a 3-day congress this weekend, so I'm sure I'll have some...
Looking out the window there.
It looks a bit wet.
It's not good. Okay, very quickly, we'll just do this before you go, Don.
Natural Therapies, 94 Edith Street, Wynnum. Practitioners in naturopathy, kinesiology, live blood screening, and natural fertility management. 3348 6098.
There you go. Okay. All right.
So, changing DNA, changing stress, changing the genes. So, like I sort of mentioned earlier on, it really is the area of naturopaths and natural healers, because drugs don't change our genes. Not positively, generally, anyway. Actually, they have found, I will change that, some anti-inflammatories, like if we're taking a low-level anti-inflammatory, if we're in chronic pain and we start taking a low-level anti-inflammatory that actually does help our pain levels, because sometimes it doesn't, that has been found to positively change our genetic genes. So, they are doing sort of studies on both sides and finding all sorts of things. I think being healthier and happier if you're in less pain is always going to be a good thing when it comes to our daydreaming. Daydream believer. So I thought I'd mention the LEAP program that we do. So Georgia and I both do a kinesiology protocol called LEAP. It was developed by Dr. Charles Krebs, and he had 10% frontal lobe damage in his brain going back to the 80s. And basically he started to develop processes that change the way the brain function under stress. So kinesiology uses muscle testing to find out what's going on in the body. I've got lots of these little videos on our YouTube channel, New Leaf Health Team, by the way. And basically, this process helps to find whether or not your body is stuck in survival. So if your body is stuck in survival, on a daily basis, it can do things like switch down your immune system, slow down your liver function, slow down your thyroid function, activate your adrenal, activate your fat storing. So running on adrenaline and cortisol and noradrenaline can make our memory worse. It can make us less resilient, so we can basically end up feeling stressed even if nothing is wrong. So the LEAP program, it's not a one-off session by any stretch of the imagination. There are exercises that we can give people at home that actually help to integrate the brain on a daily basis. Once again, they only work if we do them. But basically, it's a process where bit by bit, it's like building up the foundations of a house. So you start by making sure the survival stuff is okay, and then you start integrating the left and right sides of the brain, and then you start working on the memory centers, and you work on the amygdala, which holds a lot of our fight and flight responses. The Vietnam vets have always heard about the amygdala response because it's the reason why if a door slams, we think a machine gun's going off. It's the thing that is in our brain trying to make us hyper vigilant all day, every day. And I was chatting to my mum about it this week because she's had a particular injury we've been working on. And she said, but as soon as I had that injury, by that afternoon, I was at the doctor's and I got it sorted. And I said, yes, but you had 6 hours in the meantime. I said, a stress circuit only takes 1/500th of a second to be activated. And once it's activated, what deactivates it? They were talking about a holiday at one stage, and it takes at least 2 days for your brain to come down if you're totally de-stressed to pull down enough of your stress hormones so that your thyroid can reactivate again. If you've been at work running on adrenaline for months on end and then finally you have a holiday, your thyroid doesn't just magically pick up and start working again. So within these stress circuits we do at the clinic, we can actually help to reactivate the thyroid faster. We can help to reactivate the digestive tract and then use the kinesiology to work out what people need in order to move them forward and nourish their nerves and nervous systems. Yeah. Have you ever had kinesiology?
No, I haven't, no.
Yeah, it's a weird beast,
Probably a good idea to explain. We always get new listeners every week. Different people. Somebody will say the week before, listen to this show on Bay FM. You should listen to it, but they're not au fait with...
Absolutely. So there's lots of types of kinesiology, and there's lots of ways of muscle testing. So basically, depending on your practitioner, you can do kinesiology for structural balancing. So I do NOT, neural organizational technique. That's a process that helps to realign hips and the jaw and the spine and the tailbone and cranial injuries and whiplashes and feet and the fibula in the legs and things like putting the shoulders back into place. So it's a very structural balance that was put together because Dr. Carl Ferrari, 30 years ago, he was a chiropractor and he just got sick of treating people the same way each and every week. Now, chiros are a lot more, there's a lot more research these days, so they know that people have better results if they do, say, a 10, 15-minute massage first. They know that they get better results if they have, say, an Epsom salt bath when they get home or go for a walk around the block. So everything's getting better. You can imagine just about every industry is getting better these days. But NOT, it often helps people, like if someone's been going to the chiro every week for 10 years, which often happens. Some people are in a job where the RSI, so they've got some sort of repetitive strain within their work. They need regular treatments.
Yeah.
NOT or massage isn't going to fix it if you're going back and doing the same thing every day. So I'm very physical with my work. I'm a high maintenance body and I know I am. I'm fully aware I am. So, because I'm standing on my side looking down at the client. And I'm in that position for like 6 hours a day. So, and my feet are moving apart. And so kinesiology is a weird beast. It uses muscle testing, which can be either a big long arm or it can be little short arm on the table. So it depends on how the practitioner works. Depends what we're asking the body. But then there's something called Touch for Health, which is basic kinesiology. And that each muscle in the body can tell us about a specific organ. So we can say, okay, well, let's ask about your stomach.
So it's obviously physical.
Oh, it's a very physical thing, so and it's hands-on. It's hands-on.
I think it was just therapy, sitting down, having a yak to you. Here's the exercises. Go home and do
Oh
that.
no, absolutely not. No. It's very physical, and throughout the process, as we're finding things where we're diffusing the stress from them. So if I find, for example, this DNA patterning in the brain, then what I'll end up doing is, so I talk it through with people because people like to be part of their own therapy. Like 1 in 100 of my clients might say, I don't need to know what you're doing, just do it. But that's really rare. Most people want to be part of it because otherwise they go, what are you doing now? I can feel that. I can feel a tightness in my chest. People can feel stuff happening in their body, and sometimes clients will burp and yawn as they're releasing stress. And sometimes practitioners will as well. I'm not a burper, but I know quite a few kinesiologists who, so that they don't take on their clients' energy, they actually burp through the process to release it. Mm-hmm. My friend Linda Hoggard, who you met she's a big burper. She's hilarious. She, you'd think she'd just sculled 3 beers the way she burps during a session. And she started doing that when she was pregnant with her 14-year-old daughter Isla, because she knew that working on people was too much for her as well as holding a baby. Yeah. And it just happened automatically. It was really quite amazing.
What does the client think?
Well, I used to warn people about, I used to warn people about Linda, and then occasionally I wouldn't. They'd say, oh my goodness, she's got such bad heartburn. I said, no. The more she's burping, the worse your energy was. Sorry, that's all about you, not her.
Okay.
So, and then it's funny because the people she's taught over the years, they often take on the burping thing as well because it's an easy way to let go of energy, which is a weird thing. I don't do it, just letting you know, people.
Burping, was it Scientology? Not Scientology, that's a different...
Kinesiology. Burping kinesiology. Actually, that would be funny. I should video her next time and put it up on YouTube. Yeah. The burping kinesiologist.
Well, first up, if you're a client, you think, what is she had a beer or what?
Yeah, no, and it's very odd. But I'm more likely to yawn, but the yawning for me is nearly always with throat chakra stuff. So it's more when I'm working with someone who isn't speaking their truth. I know all that stuff sounds waffly, but gee, it's amazing. It just shows up as true so regularly. So we do work on weird things like chakras, meridians, auras. Sometimes if I've got a skeptic on the table, I will go purely physical. Sometimes I won't even... sometimes I just won't tell them what I'm doing. I'll tell them the very physical things. But and then I automatically do a few other little bits and bobs as well. But it's amazing. It's a really cool science. Dr. Charles Krebs, he's got lots of research these days that is proving the changes in the brain before and after kinesiology. So he's been researching for 40 years in kinesia. He's amazing.
Well, I didn't really, honestly, didn't know too much about it until I met you about 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years. I think you've been involved with BFM for 5-6 years now, at least.
It's probably about 9 now.
About 9,
yeah.
well, I never knew anything about kinesiology.
It is. Yeah.
It's a difficult word to even pronounce.
It is. And a lot of people I say, oh, is that the reading of the eyes? Is that the massaging the feet? I go, no, that's iridology, that's reflexology. So you can buy, say, kinesiology tape, for example. So you might go to a physio and they'll put tape on your shoulders or on your back that's kinesiology tape. It's about muscle movement. So basically, there's a lot of research behind kinesia. I do love it for that reason. But it can change the way your brain works. It can change the way the stress is affecting your body. Like I say, it takes time. But the other thing is Rob, our acupuncturist, he does a process called universal consciousness. And this is a 2-hour guided meditation, really quite amazing. And it basically takes you back to where your stress started. So, and it doesn't matter whether you see him, like I've got people who see him for past life stuff, that's not my gig, but some people see him for addiction, some people see him for panic attacks and depression, some people see him because they simply can't see a bright future. So if you are so stuck in the depths of despair that you can't get out, because it's 2 hours, it's massive. It's just massive.
So
the changes it can.
Psychology there as well.
Absolutely. Well, the thing about the brain is your brain believes what you tell it. So if you're waking up every day going, I'm ugly, I've got bad hair, I'm fat, I can't wear these outfits, what's your brain hearing all day, every day? When we're in a negative space, we often say 20 to 50,000 negative things to ourselves every day. That's a lot of negative input. So basically to really start changing it is huge. It's a huge process.
Negativity is a destroyer. It really destroys you. Yeah.
And we've had clients who have done this 2-hour process with Rob. It's just changed their mindset so hugely. Sometimes they visualise seeing their mother as a child. Sometimes they visualise going back up the family line to see their mother, their grandmother, their great-mother, grandmother. Sometimes, I'm not saying that men aren't as important, father, grandfather, but it's that sort of thing where it can really make a difference. So there's lots we can do to help. But check out our YouTube channel, New Leaf Health Team, and we've got, there's a whole bunch of Bay FM chats over the years, but there's also about 40 videos of me doing kinesiology. Okay. So just little snippets, anything from, 11 to 30 minutes, and they're all different.
Give you a call.
Absolutely. Have a chat to the girls. So 3348 6098. Okay. We're down in Wynnum between Vinnie's and the post office, and it's Sanu and Lynn on the phone today.
Cool. All right, thanks, Madonna. I hope that our listeners and myself have learned something. I learned something because I don't normally do this program. Roger does, and he'll be back hopefully on about the 25th or 26th, so looking forward to his company. I
wonder what the weather's been like.
Well, I spoke to him last Friday, actually, Friday afternoon. Yeah, he was fine. He was off for a bike ride.
Beautiful. It's a hard life.
Totally different time of day over there, but he's probably on a bike ride at the moment. Thanks, Madonna.
Beautiful.
Look forward to your company again next week. I think I'll still be here.
Excellent.
Unless they get rid of me, but I'll
be here with bells on.
All righty, you take it nice and easy. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Be listening at the same time next week to hear more from Madonna Guy.